Hey, what's up, team? I hope you had a great day today. I had an amazing day. Look, I was going to share this topic on a Whiteboard Wednesday episode, but I'm so excited right now that I just want to go ahead and do it now. I have this whole storyboard behind me, and I'm just going to walk you through a quick deal real quick. Look, today's snatches were awesome. That is a highly technical movement, probably one of the most difficult movements that you could do with a barbell, and I thought, and the other coaches thought, that you did amazing. But what I want to talk to you about is the perspective of understanding the difficulty of the movement and why our coaches coach the way that they coach and why the programs are run the way that they're run. So look, the snatch being a really complicated movement, right? Let's look at the warm-up, for example. Whenever you have a long workout, you typically want a shorter warm-up. Well, the snatch is a very short workout. It's a very short, explosive workout. So you typically want a longer warm-up with those type of exercises. Nobody warms up too often for a marathon, but everybody warms up a lot for a sprint. So when you have the barbell and we're doing all these repetitions and you're like, oh my goodness, this is so challenging. Well, it's because the exercise is so explosive and so fast that we need to do all these repetitions to warm up your brain, which is very important, your tendons and ligaments, and your cardiovascular system to make sure you're ready to perform the movement rather than just winging it while you're cold, right? So that's why the warm-up exists like it does on a day like a snatch day. Now I want to take you up here. Look, anytime that you do a movement and you increase complexity, you're going to decrease the amount of weight that you lift. When you increase the complexity in something like a snatch, you will lift less weight than something like a deadlift. The less complex the movement, the more weight you'll lift. So to compare yourself to be weak or strong on something with a lot of complexity, well, that's relative to other movements that have a lot of complexity. So your snatch isn't bad because it's less weight than all of your other movements. The complexity is much higher. Now, when you look at load, how do you lift load? There's two main ways to lift load, which is referred to as weight. Number one is body weight. Too often people forget about that. They think, oh, I'm not good at snatching. My friend snatches 20 pounds more than me. Now, it's always important to remember that mass moves mass. That's why weightlifting, if you do that sport, is participated in weight categories. So to say that you're not getting as good at the movement as you think you should be simply because your friend who weighs 30 pounds more than you, or is a male and you're a female, snatches more than you, that's pretty unfair. Mass moves mass. So if you're trying to lose weight, you definitely should not be tremendously focused on how much weight you're lifting. Your body weight is going down. You are at a natural disadvantage to lift more weight. And that's okay. I'm just saying you don't need to put the snatch on a pedestal of how much weight you can lift. Now, secondly, is that there's a skill margin. There's a skill margin of absolute potential. There's only so much weight that you could potentially lift. If you dedicated your entire life to weightlifting, there's only a certain amount that you could lift. And that the better that you get at the movement, the smaller your performance margins are going to be. When you first start lifting, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a bar, I'm gonna put 10s on each side, it's great. And then you start adding more and more weight. You start getting to what you feel is the most that you can lift. Then after that, 5 pounds is a massive deal. 2.5 pounds is a massive deal. Not weight relative to somebody else, weight relative to you. If you are truly lifting the best you can lift, when you put a 2.5 on each side, it might not work out. That's how track and field works, trying to run a quarter second faster. That's how the pole vault works, trying to go 3 inches higher. There's only so good that you can get. And then the better that you get along the way, the smaller your performance margins get. That's extremely important to remember. All right, mass moves mass, look at your body weight, and the better you get, the smaller your weightlifting performance measures are gonna be. So what that really means is that we should focus on getting better. We really need to enter the day or every session saying, how do I get better? Not completely judging it on how much weight we lift. So I want you to focus on these 3 things: mechanics, consistency, and then load. Mechanics are always first. Over and over and over and over again. Once you master the fundamentals, go back and do it again, except this time pay closer attention. Your mechanics always matter. Repetition, barbell drills, light load. We do that for a reason, to keep you safe and increase your mechanics. Skill, 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 skill. Next is consistency. Consistency is, can I do it while I'm tired? Can I do it while I don't feel good? Can I do it from the high hang? Can I do it from the low hang? Can I do it slowly? Can I do it quickly? How many ways can I do it? Consistency. Then you can add load. What do we want to do too often? What we want to do too often is come in, put a whole bunch of weight on the bar, skip that whole warm-up piece, and just figure out how much weight I can do because it looks cool on Instagram. Not only is it unsafe, it's setting you up for failure. You will be consistently frustrated at your lack of progress if you do that. Mechanics, consistency, and then load. I'm gonna say it one more time. Mechanics, consistency, and then load. So what that brings us to is, after we understand every session of how to get better, let's look at our coaches. What are we trying to accomplish in every single session? A coach's job in every single session should be to teach, see, and correct. Teach, see, and correct. Teach the movement first. Hey guys, this is what we're going to do today. Articulately explain it. Then they're going to see you do it, and then they're going to correct you on anything that may need to be corrected for that day. So our coaches enter every session. We focus on 6 key steps of coaching, which we'll talk about in another Whiteboard Wednesday episode, but teach, see, and correct every single session. But that really brings us to triaging. Triaging is what we're after in every single session. We can only focus on a few things. The first thing that we have to do is watch you move. That's why we orchestrate the classes in a group setting and we cue off the barbell movements. Dip, go, dip, go. We're not looking at you, we're looking at your barbells. We're able to see the gross faults. A gross fault is the first thing that inhibits the athlete from progressing any further. I understand that in a highly technical lift, like a snatch, that you could focus on 30, 40 different things, but that's not gonna help anybody. We are triaging it by addressing the gross fault first. Hey, you, this is your main problem. You need to stop doing this. And we'll give you something real quick. Gross faults first. What is the athlete doing that is immediately inhibiting them from progressing? That's the gross fault. The second is the subtle faults. After that athlete has mastered the points of performance, or POP, and those points of performance are being done well and they don't have any gross faults, then it's our job to step in and address the subtle faults. But above all of this equals 1 to 2 nuggets a day. That's really it. In every session, we should be trying to accomplish and dominate 1 to 2 small nuggets of progress. It should be simply executed. There should be a goal for the day. I don't want you guys coming in focusing on 30, 40, 50 different things that you have to do. Oh, I got to jump and I got to shrug and I got to get a triple extension. No. Dude, today, we really just need to understand the turnover of the hand in the lift. Today, we just need to focus on the catch on the rower. Today, we just need to focus on getting good at jump rope, right? You see how overwhelming that can be? This is just workout. This is just fitness. But this is what we're doing to try to bring you a really solid program. And we're going to give you 1 to 2 nuggets a day. And I know that happened to you today, where you had 1 or 2 things to work on. And we triaged it and we said, hey, what is the biggest, most important flaw going on right now? I need you to fix this one thing. There's no sense in talking about all the other things until you can do this one thing. And then we get you to do the next thing. And then we get you to do the next thing, and so on and so forth. So I thought today was a really good day, and I want you to understand what progression looks like and give you some perspective on what your progression is, how awesome you actually are, and what coaching in a session actually looks like. So let's rock and roll, guys. Have a good night.